It's Levi and Shayna from Airbnb My Space, and today we're going to get right down to business.
We want to talk to you about how to create and run a successful Airbnb without risking your home or your sanity.
If you are just thinking of starting an Airbnb and aren't sure, or are actually terrified, you can do this. If we can do it without owning any of our own properties, literally anyone can.
If you're already hosting and you've had some bad experiences, don't worry. We're here to help you avoid those and other nightmare scenarios and come out profitable on the other side.
If you're scared, just know we've taken all the guesswork out of it. We're going to pass on proven methods from Superhost who have been doing this for 5 years, boots on the ground. We've already solved the problems you haven't even faced yet.
Don't let anything or anybody stop you from pursuing the same freedom we've achieved. Don't let anything keep you from learning more and equipping yourself to create that life that you've always wanted for yourself.
We know that this can seem daunting. There are so many unknowns, and between local legislation, competition, and the horror stories out there, it sounds hard. Well, it is. At least it was for us. But we can help you get to success way faster and easier than we did.
That's why we're here. We found that we could create this amazing life for ourselves where we were making good money, doing something that matters by giving people an awesome travel experience, and freeing ourselves up to do the things that we love to do.
Like travel, read, teach yoga, volunteer.
Spend time together, be there for our family, and the list goes on.
Our goal for this masterclass is to help two kinds of people. For those new to Airbnb, you'll get an amazing playbook loaded with information to send you on your way to confidently and smartly start running your own Airbnb business.
For those current hosts, no matter what level you're at, some of your ideas will be reinforced, and we'll definitely share many new helpful tips, tricks, and systems to help you get more bookings and run an even better, more efficient business while getting hurt less.
The only way to create your most successful Airbnb business is through working smarter. It took us years and hours of hard work and countless failures along the way. So we're offering you a shortcut to working smarter in the Airbnb My Space Masterclass.
So we're a former high school English teacher and a swimming pool salesman. Now, we liked what we did, but we wanted to work for ourselves doing something that didn't take our whole entire day, but also paid enough to provide the quality of life we wanted.
And Airbnb was that answer. This isn't a get-rich-quick hustle. This isn't some work from home and get paid $1,000 a day pyramid scheme.
That's not real.
It's actually a pretty basic economic concept called arbitrage.
So arbitrage is the simultaneous purchase and sale of an asset to profit from a difference in the price. That's basically the entire free market economy. It's a trade that profits by exploiting the price differences of identical or similar financial instruments on different markets or in different forms. Now, the average daily rate of owning a home is about $52. An average hotel is $163 in the United States. And the average daily rate for a US Airbnb is $160.47. So, if you can use your home or a home you own or rent or an apartment or even just part of your home or a part of your apartment to tap into the arbitrage economy, you can turn that $108 gap between $52 and $160 into profits for you.
There's work involved, obviously, but it's actually pretty light work once you get it all prioritized and systematized. So we've laid out all the systems and the exact communication templates.
So when Shayna and I got married, we moved to a new city and started looking for ways to work for ourselves. Both of us being writers and English majors, we fell into some social media marketing, and that was really cool. But it was also a lot of hours, and you're kind of always at work. If you have a phone, you're at work.
Right. But Levi had his $1 million idea.
Half $1 million idea.
And we found out that our landlord was just sitting on a handful of empty apartments and a house. Just sitting there. And after seeing the success his parents were enjoying in rural Virginia, he knew there was an opportunity there. We approached her and explained the Airbnb business model. We'd be renting it just like normal, paying all the utilities, internet, etc., but we'd be subletting out to out-of-town visitors, and we would ensure that it was kept in tip-top shape because we'd be cleaning it about every 2 days.
So she agreed. She added a subletting clause to the lease, And we started with that one little house, launching our first arbitrage Airbnb property. 5 spaces later, not only can we say that this model works, but we've helped plenty of other hosts set up their own spaces, from a single guest bedroom to a few enormous houses. So we know the model can work just about anywhere with any piece of habitable real estate. And we're going to show you how.
No matter who you are, what your background is, Airbnb is something you can do. It's something we figured out as we went along, and it was a painful, bumpy ride. And now that we have it figured out, we're going to share the methods, resources, systems, templates, and concepts to take the guesswork out of it for you.
That was a mouthful.
Yes, it was.
So, take a look at this slide. This is the very first year for our very first space, that first little house. The first month, our first guest arrived on the 16th, and I actually don't remember if it was just open for 2 weeks or if we just weren't ready yet. I think they came as soon as we were ready. But that first month, we ended up 26% below what it cost us to rent the house and pay the utilities. The second month, we were 84% above. And then, May, June, July was 126%. August was 174%. Now that's the tourist peak. It drops back down. September was 103%. So we only doubled our money. October was at 108. November 119. December 139%. Now that's just a tiny picture of one tiny house in one little city. And that's what we did, having no idea what we were doing. So if you don't know anything, arbitrage and Airbnb can make you money. But if you know what we know now, it would make you considerably more.
Now, you've heard the horror stories, or maybe you've experienced a few of them yourself. I know we have. Well, we're going to teach you how to avoid those nightmare scenarios in the future and lay out our proven strategies to recoup any losses you may experience, because that's where most Airbnb hosts get hurt.
We're going to lay out the top methods to get you more bookings, how to set up your listing, how to achieve professional but still honest photos, guidelines to get you communicating like a pro, and the secrets to receiving great reviews from day one.
Systems to run an efficient Airbnb, and our download templates, master the honest, clean communication shortcuts, and the easiest check-in, check-out Airbnb has to offer.
You've heard the horror stories. We've lived through quite a few of them.
We had some guests destroy one of our spaces on New Year's Eve. And not only did we get all the money we asked for to buy brand new replacements for everything they damaged, but we also got their less than glowing review deleted for good.
Came out of that one nearly unscathed. Now, you cried, and we learned a lot in the process, so I call it a win.
Yes. Here's a testimonial from a host who we've been privileged to help out a number of times. I'm Kathy, and I'm an Airbnb host. I had not been hosting long when I met Levi and Shayna. They booked a night at my home. They were warm and friendly. To my surprise, they also host through Airbnb. I quickly realized they were very knowledgeable, so I asked for helpful tips about my room. They gladly shared with me. In fact, they took the time later to send me a nice long email of suggestions. I was really impressed. Many of those I have implemented. Here are a couple of examples. Levi suggested giving my room names and gave me a list to consider. I actually chose 2 of his names. This was very successful. He also gave me some safety ideas, which I implemented immediately. I have called for support when I was uncertain how to handle complex situations. Just knowing someone else has experienced it too is comforting. Knowing that I didn't mess up, and these are things to sometimes deal with, helped greatly. I still have things I can do from Levi's list of suggestions. Other life interference prevented me from doing so, but it's waiting for when I can get to it. A nice feeling of reassurance that I can move forward as I have time and finances.
Aw, thanks, Kathy. Now, you might be thinking that you need some sort of business background in order to achieve the level of success that we're talking about. Well, we don't have that. And we're super hosts of 5 properties, co-hosts on others, and consultants on others, and we've made over $500,000 doing it.
You might be thinking it'll surely cost you money to get these processes and systems up and running. Well, most of them cost nothing except for your time and willingness to learn.
Maybe breaking some bad habits.
For sure.
Now, you might be thinking that you know everything we're going to say. And to be fair, maybe you do. That would be surprising. But if that's you, maybe the Masterclass isn't for you. We're really looking for the hosts who are eager to learn, who want to do an awesome job, provide an excellent guest experience. Now, those are the kind of hosts we're looking for, so we can pass on the wealth of information we've bled, sweated, and teared to put together over the past 5 years. Are those verbs? Most of them are. We put these together over 5 painful years, hosting, co-hosting, working on, and traveling to Airbnbs all over the world.
You might be thinking that you are too new for a masterclass on Airbnb. Well, the info we're going to share is literally for every host, from the very new beginner who is just curious about the possibilities, all the way up to the multi-property superhost looking to get even better return on their investment.
So now we've shown you that the horror stories don't have to scare you. They don't have to happen to you. And you don't have to let them take up so much of your time, money, and emotional energy.
We have the top methods to help you get more bookings and make more money.
After we had our third space, we realized we could both quit our jobs and just do Airbnb full time. With 5 spaces that stay booked just an average of 66% of the time in our very seasonal, very tourist-dependent market, we've been able to work the math. So this is our only gig. It's even provided both of us with the freedom to invest the time and money necessary to get our real estate licenses so we can really dig into the real estate side of Airbnb hosting.
Here's a testimonial from a couple we consulted with in the planning stages of their Airbnb. Shayna and Levi were a tremendous help to us when we were just starting out as hosts. Their suggestions helped us completely revamp our listing to make our descriptions more engaging and to set expectations at the perfect level. The result is more bookings and guests who are thrilled to stay with us. Nan and Martin.
Now, you might be thinking that you don't have enough time or money to do this. Not true. We started with almost no money out of pocket, literally just enough for the deposit and the first month's rent on the first property. We pieced together the furniture, the fixtures, the stuff we needed on the cheap. And it is now prized and has been written up on a number of publications as being one of the most eclectic and beloved creative Airbnbs in our region.
You might be thinking that you know all the secrets. But what if you didn't have to have another job besides just Airbnb? Wouldn't that be a dream? We can show you how. And then you get to decide if you want to keep the cleaning fees like we usually do or outsource to a third party. With our systems, more bookings and therefore more money are both in your Airbnb future.
We have the systems and templates to help you run a more efficient and streamlined Airbnb.
It didn't take us much time to figure it out that when we were both picking up the phone to respond to Airbnb inquiries, we weren't using our time wisely. We were spending too much time muddled up in all the administrative tasks like answering questions and writing reviews.
We stopped all of that and created a system that every single day saves us time and frees us up to do other fun stuff and makes us more money per hour of Airbnb work.
Let's hear from Sterling, a superhost with 5 listings and 261 reviews. My experience regarding Levi and Shayna's Airbnb consulting services were useful and positive. First, they are a fun and friendly couple to meet and a pleasure to host. They have an eye for detail and provide practical advice gained from their 4 years' experience as a host. I have worked in the field of real estate investment for 15 years. Airbnb hosting and short-term rentals are ever so slightly different than more traditional single-family apartment building rentals. Levi and Shayna were able to provide me with useful tips in several areas regarding my Airbnb listing, from cleaning fee pricing to small things like placing a lock on my attic and basement doors to keep guests from exploring. The advice I obtained was useful, spot on, and translated into my listing, both becoming a better place for guests to stay and more profitable. Thank you both. And thank you, Sterling.
Maybe you're thinking that you already have systems and they work just fine. Well, that's awesome. But what if ours are just a little bit better and can shave time off your workflow, get you slightly better reviews, and earn you just a little more money?
Or maybe you don't feel like you're organized enough to have a system. Just taking it one guest at a time. Our systems and templates are actually super simple. In fact, they're so simple that we guarantee they'll work for you or we'll give you a full refund on your masterclass.
If you use our systems, templates, and shortcuts, you will run a more efficient business and you will see your profits increase.
So, do you think if we showed you how to avoid Airbnb nightmares and get more bookings, and then after you have those bookings, how to run an efficient and streamlined business, do you think you could do it? Do you think you could be successful if all of those things were laid out for you?
How many of you are excited about what we just talked about? And how many of you are feeling a little bit overwhelmed because we've covered so much here today and in our 3 webinars last week?
Yeah, we are too. So it simply wouldn't be possible for us to pass on all of our information to you in just a 60-minute presentation. So we've put together a special package for those who are ready to move forward with us.
Is it okay if we spend the next maybe 10 minutes or so going over our very special offer we created to help you implement our systems to make your Airbnb journey a successful one? Is that okay? You're saying yes right now. I can hear you. I hear you and thank you. Let's hit it.
So here's the package. We've put together a 4-week masterclass, which will include the automated communication templates, the customizable, honest, clean workflow, the Resolution Center handbook, and the new space master plan.
Here's what we're going to cover. Week 1, we're going to talk about setting up your Airbnb space, how to get more bookings and make more money. Week 2, we'll go over setting up your Airbnb listing and how our systems and workflow can help you run an efficient business.
Week 3, we dive into Airbnb nightmares, how you can avoid them, and how to use the Resolution Center to your advantage. And finally, in week 4, we'll wrap up with everything else we didn't cover in weeks 1 through 3, including taxes, legislation, superhost status, cancellation policies, reviews, and so much more.
Now, we couldn't get through this whole presentation without including a quote from my dear old dad himself. As we've referenced many times in the past, they have been a huge part of our origin story.
After getting Levi's parents up and going with their ground floor apartment B&B,
It's a basement.
this is what he has to say about our help.
My wife and I have been Airbnb hosts ever since our son thought it would be a good idea for us to take the plunge, and he set up our farm as a B&B, and then told us we had someone coming the following Monday. And now, as 5-year Airbnb superhosts, whenever we've needed help knowing what our next step out of any problem that has arisen in our dealings with guests, computer glitches, or the innermost workings of Airbnb itself needs to be, we've always found the answers we needed in the abundant knowledge and wisdom of our son and daughter-in-law, Levi and Shayna. Thanks, Pa.
So, we want to remind you who this is for. It's for our parents who live on a farm and host guests very part-time in their basement, it's
a daylight basement.
but now make enough money to pay for their yearly taxes on their dream farm home.
It's for our single retired friend who has some health issues, and Airbnb is something she can do from her home to make the money she needs to make ends meet.
It's for our aggressive business owner client who started with one space in his own town and then branched out to a beautiful vacation home in a huge tourist spot and is watching both spaces flourish and thrive.
And it's for us, the homemade entrepreneurs. We wanted this to work for us, so we figured out a way.
We think the number one reason people fail to take the first step in the direction of Airbnb business owner is fear. Fear of the unknown and fear of failure.
We literally don't know a single person who started doing Airbnb and has decided it's not for them. Surely, they're out there, but we just don't know them. All of our clients, the friends and family members who have taken the big step, have loved it.
When you sign up, you're going to get to be a part of our first ever 4-week masterclass, a total value of $397.
As a part of this package, you're going to get access to our automated communication templates. It's a tool to save you time, save you and your guests a lot of headaches, and simply a way for you to work smarter.
When you have this tool, you'll be able to save time when you're communicating with guests from their initial inquiry all the way through to post-checkout.
When you have this tool, you'll also be able to stop answering every single message like it's your first guest and get some relief from the headaches that come from being disorganized and confused, which I know very well.
When we were first figuring this stuff out, I ran into a big roadblock. I didn't know how to make the communications with all of the guests less hectic and time-consuming, so we had to create a system for ourselves. This was even before Airbnb introduced their template options, which, once you have our scripts, you'll be using with every guest.
I'm not sure how much time you're spending now communicating with guests, but I personally guarantee that once you implement these guest-tested templates, you'll be spending much less time and getting better results from your guests. You don't want to recreate the wheel here. We've already done the work, so we're going to just give it to you. How's that sound?
Some people fear automation because they're afraid they'll lose the personal side of things. I guarantee not one of our guests feels like we're not a real person. We have built relationships with repeat guests and maintained our 5-star rating throughout, saving us tons of time and giving us a lot more freedom and increasing our hourly rate.
So that's the 4-week masterclass, the automated communication templates, total value of $494.
When you invest today, we're also going to give you access to our customizable Honest Clean workflow, which will help you knock out an honest clean in record time through a strategic workflow that provides you with organization and provides accountability when a third party does your cleans.
We had to go through some pretty rough cleans, and honestly, for us, quite a few arguments until we got the system in place. But you don't have to, because we're giving it to you as a special bonus.
This bonus is going to make it easier and faster for you and your cleaners to do your cleans and do them honestly.
And keep your cleaners honest. The customizable Honest Clean workflow can be tailored to your unique space and will help you create order and organization to every clean.
So, that's the 4-week masterclass, the automated communication templates, the customizable Honest Clean workflow for a total value of $591.
When you invest today, you're also going to get access to our Resolution Center Handbook, which will help you navigate the tricky waters of recovering from a guest-related loss via Airbnb's Resolution Center.
We had to go through some real heartaches and some lost revenue until we finally figured out best practices for the Resolution Center, and we'll be giving that to you as a special bonus.
This is going to make it faster and easier for you to resolve issues with a guest and recoup the money that you've lost on damaged or missing items and even extra cleaning time.
The Resolution Center is kind of like a unicorn to many Airbnb hosts. We want to take away the mystery, show you how to use it, and keep your Airbnb cash flow positive. In time, you'll come to love the Resolution Center as much as we do. It's like a little magic button that regularly replenishes your linens.
New towels. New sheets. I love it. So, that's the 4-week masterclass, the automated communication templates, the customizable Honest Clean workflow, and the Resolution Center Handbook for a total value of $688.
And when you invest today, you're also going to get access to the New Space Master Plan, which will be your playbook when you're setting up a space for the first time.
I wish we had that.
Yeah, no kidding. From the online listing to the details of the physical space, down to the guest love necessaries, we've got you covered.
We had space after space to learn what we were missing, what worked best to prevent guests from leaving us bad reviews, and so many more helpful details. And we're excited to give this to you as a special bonus.
This is going to make it faster and easier for you to adequately set up your space from the back end of the website to when you walk in the front door.
If you're unsure what you should say and what you shouldn't say in the listing, how to best set up your space, and what's a must-have for comfort and ease of guests, look no further. We've done the hard work for you.
So here's everything you'll get. 4-week masterclass, $397 value. Automated communication templates, $97 value. Customizable Honest Clean workflow, $97 value. Resolution Center Handbook, $97 value. And New Space Master Plan, $97 value. Totaling $785 value.
Now, obviously, we're not going to charge you $785. But if we did, and all it did was help your Airbnb pay you back that much, plus a little more, would that be worth it to you?
If all the system did was help you avoid Airbnb nightmares and recoup your hard-earned money through the Resolution Center, would it be worth $785?
Yes, it would. And what if all it did was help you get more bookings, increase your income that way? Would it be worth $785?
What if all it did was make you a better business person who runs a more efficient and streamlined business in less time? Then would it be worth $785?
Now, we had two choices. We could have created this masterclass and marketed the heck out of it and charged full price. With the value we're building into it, that would be totally reasonable. And if we had found all of this information 5 years ago for only $785, we would have jumped on it in an instant.
But what we really wanted to do was invite in a small group of hosts to come through the masterclass first and make sure we answer all of your questions and that we didn't miss anything.
And in exchange for the final enrollment cost, you walk away completely satisfied and ready to take on your Airbnb business with new tools, templates, systems, and confidence.
So if you had a successful Airbnb business with less headache, more bookings, and a streamlined system, what would that be worth to you?
you can see why it is worth $785, because that's not a cost. That's an investment into your business, into your future.
So you've already seen how it's worth $785. And even at $785, it's still a great deal.
But, and this is a big but, because this is our first ever masterclass, we're going to try something a little different. And maybe it's counterintuitive. We're going to limit it to only 30 hosts. We're going to make it available to only those 30 hosts at an extremely discounted price of $49. Only for the first 30, only for this first class, and this offer will only be available until this Friday.
Now, after this webinar concludes and we get our first 30 hosts enrolled, we're shutting down the order page, and next time it comes back up, the price will be back up where it ought to be. This is a one-time deal for our very first ever Masterclass participants.
So, at this point, you have two choices. You can either do nothing with the information you've just heard, and if you do nothing, what will happen?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Or you can take a leap of faith. Just test it out to see if it will work for you.
And you know what? It's okay if it doesn't work for you, because there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can test drive it now, see if it works for you. It probably will, but you have nothing to lose.
So the real question is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check this out? Even if only half of it is applicable to you, it will pay for itself as soon as you start implementing the tools we share with you.
And frankly, if you go through the masterclass and discover that Airbnb isn't for you, that was a well-spent $49.
It's true. So check it out one more time, so there's no questions about what you'll be getting and the value of all this information.
4-week masterclass, the automated communication templates, the customizable Honest Clean workflow, the Resolution Center handbook, and the New Space master plan. Total value, $785.
And just so you guys know, we're only accepting 30 participants for this masterclass. 30 people only.
So, when our clock runs out, or when 30 people sign up, that is your last chance to ever get this price. We will never, ever offer this masterclass for this price again.
So will you join us on this Airbnb masterclass journey? We really think you should.
Remember, $49 for a 4-week masterclass with us. Access to our automated, with her, and also me. Access to our automated communication templates, customizable Honest Clean workflow, Resolution Center handbook, and New Space master plan. Total value of all these resources is $785.
For the first 30 people that sign up, it's $49. Let's go.
So, what is holding you back? If it's money, it is literally never going to be this price again. It is only going to go up from here. So, join us now. Get in on the first wave, and we promise you won't be disappointed. If you are, which you won't be, we will happily return your $49 back to you. And frankly, we'll thank you for any feedback you give us on the masterclass, and it'll be $49 well spent in the refund.
So, no risks.
We're going to leave the card open until Friday, or until 30 people sign up, whichever comes first.
We really hope to see you in the masterclass.
We'll see you there.
So we're offering you a shortcut to working smarter in your Airbnb MySpace Masterclass. So we're offering you a shortcut. I'm sorry. I said 14 words wrong.
We rented it from her for this much. We rented it on Airbnb for this much, and we got to keep that much. It was great. We've bled, sweated, and teared. Let's hit it.
So here's the package.
And now, as 5-year Airbnb superhosts, whenever we have need... And now, as 5-year Airbnb superhosts, when we're... I cannot read my dad's writing. And now, as 5-year Airbnb superhosts, whenever we need help knowing what our next step out of any problem that has arisen in our dealings with... How do I read this?
No, I'm sorry. I laughed for no reason. Okay.
Hold on.
Second paragraph.
We will never, ever offer this masterclass for... Let's have a little fun. Do you want to throw your hair around, bobble it about?
For these videos?
I'm gonna tousle
oh,
on.
like we're changed?
I'm gonna pop my collar. Don't pop my collar.